that began in our campaign. It starts with people, especially young people, who are determined to take this nation's destiny into their own hands. Some of you remember during the campaign, we had a slogan, fired up. Not everybody here knows how this story came about, so I'm going to tell it again. Because it bears on healthcare reform. This is early in the campaign when none of you knew how to pronounce my name. I had just announced that I was looking for support. I had to go down to South Carolina, those early primary states. I went down to Greenville for a legislative dinner. And I was sitting next to a state representative there, and I wanted her support. I needed some endorsements. Nobody supported me at the time. So I said, Madam Representative, I need your endorsement. She said, I will give you my endorsement if you come to my hometown, Greenwood, South Carolina. And I said, I had a glass of wine. I said, fine. Come to find out that Greenwood is an hour and a half from every place else. It's in the middle of nowhere. So, about a month later, I fly back into Greenville. I'm tired, I'm sleepy, and I've been campaigning for 2 weeks straight. I'm dragging my bags to my hotel room, and suddenly I get a tap on my shoulders by staffers. I said, what? They said, we've got to be in the car at 6:30 tomorrow morning. I said, what? 6:30, why? Because we've got to go to Greenwood like you promised. So the next morning, I wake up and I feel terrible. Dragging up. I feel like a college student. College and don't want to wake up. I feel like I've been staying up late doing who knows what. I know, I remember. So I just feel I'm exhausted. I go over to the curtains to try to get some sunlight, wake myself up. It's pouring down right now. It's miserable. I go to get some coffee, I open up the newspaper, there's a bad story about me in the New York Times. I go downstairs, and my umbrella busts open. And I get poured on. So by the time I'm in the car, I'm wet, and I'm sleepy, and I'm tired, and I'm mad. And we start driving, and we're driving, it's an hour and a half. And I realized I'm going to have to drive an hour and a half back. And finally we get to Greenwood, although you don't know you're in Greenwood right away. But there's a little park district building. We go into this park, field house. I get a little more wet. Get inside, and after this long drive, waking up at 6:30, there are only about 20 people. 20 people. And they're all kind of damned, and they don't look that excited to see me. They don't really know how to pronounce my name either. But I'm running for president, so I'm shaking hands. How do you do? Nice to meet you. Suddenly, I hear this voice behind me shouting, "Fired up!" I'm startled. And everybody around me, they just think this is normal. They say, "Fired up!" And suddenly, I hear this voice, "Ready to go!" And everybody goes ready to go. I said, "What's going on?" I look behind me. There's this small woman. She's about 5'8", 5'2". She's about 50, 60 years old. And she's dressed like she just came from church. She's got a big church hat. And she's looking at me, she's smiling, she says, "Fired up!" Come to find out that there's a city council member from Greenwood. She also, by the way, moonlights as a private detective. True story. But she's mainly known for her chant. She does this everywhere she goes. Everywhere, at any event, football game, at a city council meeting, she says, "Fired up!" Everybody says, "Fired up!" Ready to go. Everybody's ready to go. So for the next 5 minutes, she keeps on doing this. She says, fired up, ready to go, ready to go. And I realize I'm being upstaged. So I'm looking at my staff asking, you know, what's going on here? When is this going to stop? They're shrugging their shoulders, they don't know. But here's the thing, Marilyn. After about a couple minutes of this, suddenly I realized I'm feeling kind of fired up. So I started joining in the chant. And for the rest of the day, wherever we went, whenever I saw myself, I said, are you fired up? They said, I'm fired up, huh? Are you ready to go? They said, I'm ready to go. So it goes to show you, and this is so important for young people, it goes to show you one voice can change a room. And if it can change a city, it can change a state. If it can change a state, it can change a nation. If it can change a nation, it can change the world. You will change the world with your voice. We need the voices of young people to transform this nation, to meet up to the meaning of its dreams. I need your voice. Are you fired up? Change the world. Thank you.